So there she is, star of the day, Timba. Oh, time for a treat. Kibble, actually, kibble. No treats, no treats. She just gets kibble. So what that means for some of you folks that don't work with dogs, kibble is just part of their food. So a portion of her kibble food that she gets twice a day is proportioned out so we can work on things like, oh, I'm driving. Oh, she forgot. Yes, special treat there. Okay, so the exciting things about today, we've been busy. We have been out on outings. So today it was Starbucks and Home Depot. And I'm sure that may sound familiar to some of you guys if you are familiar with JJ's story from the new member orientation workshop, or maybe even when he's mentioned it on the wake-up call. And so, yes, we're having technology issues. Oh, when was that? Okay, so just saw the rest of my seatbelt. Oh well. That happens, doesn't it? Whoops. At least it didn't fall in my lap. Had one of those happen. I decided just to redo the video. So the first outing at Starbucks was interesting because I purchased something to drink for me and a cookie. And so we got pictures of pieces of dropped cookie on the floor. Oh, my Starbucks cup on the floor next to Timba. You got pictures of that. And her not reaching for the cookie, because that's part of her training as well. So if she's at a restaurant, somebody drops food, she's not supposed to gobble it all up. That's the goal. So we start with the easy stuff like cookies. Then we'll kind of learn into learning not to pick up a chicken bone off of the floor if it's dropped. So that's kind of like the ultimate test. So we started out small with just cookies. So pieces of cookies, rather. So then we went to Home Depot. Oh my goodness, Home Depot. Lots of wonderful, amazing smells at Home Depot. Just enough to drive anybody absolutely crazy. And she did really good. And everybody was walking by and talking about how cute the puppy was, how nice the puppy was, and she did so good. I know, you're waiting for the next shoe to drop, like, well, what do you mean she did so good? Didn't she do so good? Well, she actually did so well that she even got to do a little bit of what she'll eventually be trained for. Was she successful? Well, I don't think it was necessarily her fault. But there was a little boy, his parents were really struggling with him. I think he'd come to the end of his rope. He was way past tired. I mean, you could just see it in his eyes. He was crying, he was fussy. So I went up to him and I said, it's none of my business, but I've got a pup here that's in training, and it would really serve her as well to encounter a crying child. And maybe Timba can help with the crying child. So they're like, yes, sure. So what? They're holding the little boy. He's so cute. He's just a toddler. He's, sucking his thumb. His eyes are all red, and he's, doing all of that. So what is the first thing Timba does? Lick his toes. Well, some kids that's happened to, they start giggling with Timba doing that. Not this kid. He didn't scream any louder or cry any louder. He didn't think that was just the greatest thing ever. And so he was just too far gone. I mean, it was nap time, and they were going to go in go into Starbucks and get something to eat. And I'm thinking, yeah, okay, good luck with that. And so we helped a little bit. He seemed to calm down a little bit, but it's just going to be one of those things when Timba gets an opportunity to encounter a situation like that. It's a really good training for her. We don't want her to be afraid of children that are crying and any of those types of situations. She didn't show any fear at all. Let's just lick his toes. Maybe that'll make him laugh and, change the tone of voice coming from the child. So that was a good experience for her. Like I said, Home Depot was great because it had so many smells, and she did really good. And we had opportunities to do different commands, like jump up on different surfaces, and she did really well there. So today has been a really big training day for me and Timba. And if you notice, she kind of disappeared back there. We're actually at a stop, and she's not on my shoulder. I think she's really tired. So that's it for us for right now. Cheers.